Hello there, it's Melissa Majors. I'm the CEO of Melissa Majors Consulting, a strategic advisory firm that helps organizations innovate everything they do. I'm also a keynote speaker and share the leadership lessons that I've gained from those experiences and throughout my career on keynote stages in person and virtually. I'm so glad you tuned into this series. I'm going to highlight some of those leadership lessons that I have gained throughout my career. And hopefully they will spark some insight and ideas on how you can handle similar situations if and when you face them. This series is intentionally designed for emerging young adults, and I am so excited to watch you blossom and leave this world better than how you found it through being an incredible leader. The first story I want to share with you was how I became dedicated to education. I've run education organizations throughout most of my career, and my commitment to educating others began when I was just a little kid. I was about 7, and I went to my father and asked him to read me a book. He was watching TV, and he brushed me off, and he says, "Oh, I don't have time. Go talk to your mom." Oh, I was so devastated. I was daddy's girl, of course. And so I went to my mom in tears, and I explained to her what happened. And she said, "Melissa, there's something I need to tell you. Your father would give anything to read that book to you. But the fact is, Daddy doesn't know how to read." And then she went to explain to me how men like my father, young black men raised in the rural South, oftentimes their muscles were valued more than their brains. And so he was denied an education. Oh, friends, it was in that moment that I became dedicated to educating others. And it has shaped my entire career. And since then, as I mentioned, I've run large global training and education organizations, trained thousands of people. But my first student was my father when I taught him how to read. I started my career at Nationwide Insurance at an entry-level position at their call center, helping to support annuity clients. So I started in the financial services industry. I was getting really frustrated, though, because I wanted to move up the ranks pretty quickly. I was incredibly driven. And I was fussing to one of my friends about how I wasn't getting any of the jobs that I was applying for. And he said, "Melissa, look around you. There are 100 other people in this room that look like you. They have the same job. What are you going to do to differentiate yourself?" That question really stuck. And I continued to reflect on, what am I going to do to differentiate myself from this sea of people? And so I thought, I'm going to start volunteering, proactively offering my services, offering to learn new things and do jobs and tasks that are outside of my job description. And by doing that, people got to know me. Started to make a name for myself. I started to rise above that sea of people. And so that is one of the most important lessons that I learned in my career, is to always differentiate yourself. So the question for you is, if you were in my shoes then, and a friend came to you and said, "What are you going to do to differentiate yourself?" What are you going to say? What are you going to do? No matter where you're watching this video, in chat or your discussion forum, type your answer. What will you do to differentiate yourself?